Okay, folks, audio disclaimer before you watch this video. What you are about to see is the true stories of a real-life bail bondsman. Bounty hunter is a very demeaning term to any bail bondsman worth his salt and anybody who has any type of professionalism. As a rule, normally we do not like to use the term bounty hunter. What I am is I am a licensed Mississippi bail soliciting agent and a licensed Mississippi bail enforcement agent. So, what you are about to see are my stories. Names have been changed to protect the innocent. All right, folks. There's a certain image we have as bail professionals. As you can see, you get one of these badges anywhere. I picked this up for $31 at an Army Navy surplus store in Gulfport, Mississippi. Just to throw that out there. Anybody can sit there and holler that they are a bail enforcement agent or a bail, bounty hunter, whatever. Unless if you're in Florida, which is good because saying that you're a bounty hunter is actually illegal in the state of Florida. I agree with that. Now, I'm going to show y'all what we do. You need to have a few things here in Mississippi to be and I'm going to use this choice word that I hate more than anything, this term, because everybody seems to associate me with it. Bounty hunter. First thing, you need a license. It's obvious, right? I mean, you can't just throw handcuffs on somebody. Up, you're going to jail. You gotta have some sense of what you're doing. Mississippi, it's a 40-hour course. This binder here cost me $1,500. This is what my course was. This is my 40-hour course. $1,500 here. I'm going to read from a section of this book. When I find it. This is what gives us the right to do what we do. Supreme Court case from 1872 is what we operate under. It's called Taylor v. Tainter. Taylor v. Tainter, okay, it's after the Mississippi Code. Taylor v. Tainter. Statement in the case of the opinion. When the bail of a party arrested by order of the state court of one state on information for a crime and released from custody under his own and his bails recognize that he will appear at a day fixed and abide the order and judgment of the court on process from which he has been arrested, have suffered him to go onto another state, and while there he is, after forfeiture of reconnaissance delivered up under the second section of the fourth article of the Constitution and the Act of February 12, 1793, passed to give effect to it, on the requisition of the governor of a third state for a crime committed. Basically, this is saying if you jump bail, we come get you. Taylor v. Tainter. Yes, some of y'all just went, wow, 1872 was a long time ago. And in all fairness, it was a very long time ago. 1872 was what, 144 years ago? This is just as true as if it was passed last week. Just because it's a law, just because it's an old law, does not mean that the law is null and void. Kind of like our Constitution in this country. Now, this is what bail agents do. This is what bail enforcement agents do. You get arrested. You go to jail. Your bond is $10,000. You don't have $10,000, do you? I mean, do you really have 10 grand? I don't have 10 grand laying around. I'll get you out for $1,050. Mississippi law requires I take 10% plus $50 if you live in Mississippi and 15% plus $50 if you live outside Mississippi. Period. End of story. No more, no less. You might come up with about $1,050, a whole lot more than you will 10 grand. I might have that laying around. Now, you get out, you don't show up to court. The police could come get you, yes, and you're going to be wanted by the cops for failure to appear. But this is where I save the taxpayers money. I'm on the hook for the whole 10 grand. And I've got 91 days in Mississippi to have that 10 grand paid to the court, or I'm out of business. Just the way it goes. You miss court, I've got the incentive to come get you. Because I'm on the hook for your crime. Guilty or innocent, doesn't matter. I'm on the hook for it if you miss court. So at no cost to the taxpayers, I'm going to go pick your little butt up. I'm going to lock you back up in jail. Or I'm going to pay the 10 grand. And after the 91 days I pay the 10 grand, I got 18 months to find you. Then I can get my money back. And you're still going to jail. That's what gives a bail enforcement agent the right to arrest. You want to call yourself a bounty hunter and you want to get in this business, you're in the wrong business. I don't make my money going to put people back in jail. Maybe if I do it for somebody else. But if you're on my bond and I get you out of jail and you run, I'm not making money. I'm losing money because I'm not at the jail writing somebody else's bond. And somebody else just picked up that bond because I'm having to track you down. Bounty hunting ain't all it's cracked up to be either. More on that in a minute. Alright, now we're going to go with what's required to be a bail bondsman. Real easy. No lie. Need a really good novel. Real thick novel. This is the biggest asset to a bail bondsman. Is a really good book. Because this is the true story now. This is what you're going to be doing. Exciting, isn't it? You know what? Let me check to see if my bond's ready. Nope, they haven't released them yet. I didn't realize Rick Butler was so rude. You know, Red Butler really had no manners back then, in the Civil War between the states. Just going to say, he had style, but he really had no manners. That was a good book, though. You got another one? That's what we do. No lie. No lie. It's not what you see on TV. By contrast, if I had as many people get away from me and run to where I was as busy as certain TV shows depict, obviously I'm not doing my job. Because I'm not vetting my clients very well. I'm not making sure that my clients are, number one, they're not lying to me. They're not checking in. They're not good clients because they're missing court. Just to give you an idea, this is how many of my personal bonds that I've wrote that I've had to chase down since I've been doing this, and I started in March of last year. This is now January. Started March of 2015. This is January 2016. How many people have I had to actually track down and surrender? Where I've actually had to go on a foot chase to go catch? 3. And I do this full time. I don't have another job. My only other job is I'm a radio host, and I do that at my convenience because it's internet radio and it's not live. My podcast, Liberty with a Southern Accent, that's my only other job right now. And it's not really a job. Like I said, it's a hobby. I do it whenever. Other than that, I'm sitting here by the phone, waiting on it to ring. Bell bonds. That's what I'm waiting on. You see it ringing, right? It's 8:30 at night. It hasn't rang all day. Just saying. This is what we do. This is the true story, the life of a bail bondsman. Yes, I work for a major company. We have offices literally all over the state of Mississippi. And we have probably 60 agents, is my guess, working for us. Maybe less, I don't know. My ballpark is about 60 agents, and I haven't met all of them. Working all 82 counties in Mississippi. This is it. This is what you get. You don't see me going out there and running and gunning like you do on TV. Here's something else. I've also never gotten anybody's face and cussed them out while I was going to apprehend them. And yes, I do go and help others out when they have a bond they need to go get. I absolutely do. But I've still never gotten their face and cussed them. Never felt the need to. And I can cuss with the best of them. It's called being professional. I pride myself on it. I may look like a rough redneck to anybody else, but I pride myself on the professionalism of this industry. And my colleagues and my competitors share that professionalism, at least here in Mississippi. In order to be a bail bondsman, you have to go through an extensive background check. Not any Joe Blow is going to walk up and be a bail bondsman. This is the true story of it, y'all. This is not TV. All right. So here's the deal. Some of the good and the bad that I've seen in this industry with my own 2 eyes, my own personal experiences. Get a phone call from the jail.
person A, who we will refer to as John, calls me up. Can you get me out? Okay. What's your charge? Credit card fraud. Okay. Who am I going to call? Give me a list of phone numbers. Your mother, father, brother, sister, best friend, whatever. Okay. First person I'm going to call is your mother, if you give me her number. Call your mother. Your mother gets on the phone with me. Hi, I'm Anthony Allen with blankety blank bail bonds. Calling to see if you want to get your son John out of Harrison County Jail. Some of the phone calls I have had like that start off with, please, do me a favor. Do not get him out. And I can hear her crying on the phone with me. Please, do not get him out of jail. If he's in jail, I know he's alive. I know he's safe. He's not going to be found in a ditch face down, and I'm not going to get a knock at the door from the coroner's office and the sheriff's office or police department saying, we're sorry, Mrs. Cunningham, your son is dead. Please, don't get him out. I've taken several such phone calls, and it breaks my heart. But that's a part of this business. Another part of this business, true story, once again, names withheld. I had to renew my license. In Mississippi, you have to renew your license September 30th of every odd year. So it's every 2 years you renew your license, no matter when you got them. I had to renew my license September. I go to the Jackson County Jail in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Me, another agent with the same company I work for, and my girlfriend. We were, registering for Jackson County, and then we were going to run over to Harrison County and go register over here. Well, we go in there, we do our paperwork and stuff. We see this 18-year-old child, this 18-year-old girl, walks up to me. May I borrow your phone, please? I just got out of jail. I said, okay. I said, who do you need to call? I need to call my grandfather to come get me. I'll call him for you, no problem. So I call up to Grandpa, tell him who I am, explain that I have his granddaughter there. You got her out, I'm not paying her bond. I said, whoa, wait a minute. She was released before I got here. I said, I'm up here on other business. I'm just doing her a favor. Why'd they get her out? Why'd they let her out? And it goes into the whole spiel about how bad of a person she is. And she's 18. Very troubled child. Myself and my colleague and my girlfriend, we take her to the Salvation Army. It's the safest place for her. Find out, a few weeks later, she's back out on the street. That's what I mean about trying to rescue people. Okay? Another one I got out. We'll call him Jim. It was a sex offender case. And Jim was sitting in jail. He was convicted for statutory rape. Basically, what had happened was he had already been convicted and served his time on the charge. But he's picked up for failure to register. What happened was he was dating this girl. He was 17, turned 18. She was 15, almost 16, which in Mississippi is statutory rape. So, after he got out of prison, he later on found himself homeless, failed to register, and they picked him up for it. This dude was extremely young. He was in his early 20s. Doesn't really have a clue about the real world. Now, as a rule, I do not get out sex offenders, but it's a case-by-case basis. This was a case to where he needed to get out. I got him out, took him to Jackson, Mississippi. It was a $10,000 bond, and his aunt, who lives out of state, paid me to take him to Jackson, Mississippi, to a rehab place. Now he's out of the rehab place, gotten married, and is living his life as best he can. He's got a job. He's doing everything I told him to do and more. And I'm proud of that one. I really am. That was a good one. I've had good experience and I've had bad ones. I've seen stuff that'll break your heart out here, but I've seen people get better. That's why I do it. I've seen people repeatedly. I have my repeat customers. They're always in jail. Usually misdemeanor stuff, small, shoplifting, stuff like that. Simple possession. Nothing that really amounts to much. But some people do get better. And that's why I keep coming back. Give you another bad one. Bonded out a gang member. He's a member of a local gang. For the purpose of this conversation, I'll call the gang Sweet Cinnamon Rolls. Got him out on a felony, grand theft auto charge. And him and his other gangbangers decided they were going to go and beat the crap out of somebody. As a rule, I do not get out dangerous to society. He got arrested on the charge that he actually made the news on. I put him right back in. I left him in there, surrendered his bond, got us off of it. I try to do this to make a difference, but I know some people you just can't help. When I saw what he was on the news for, which was beating the crap out of this girl, I made it my business at that point to never bond out gangbangers again. Not violent ones. If I got a bad feeling about you, I'm not getting you out. It's called judgment. If I think that you're going to be a danger to society when you get out, I'm not getting you out. That's my judgment. I reserve the right to refuse service to anyone for any reason, and I use my judgment. Yeah, it's a little judgmental because technically you could make the argument that I am denying somebody's right to bail, which they have a right to bail in the state of Mississippi for any charge up to, not including, sentences punishable by death or crimes punishable by death. You have the right to bail in Mississippi. It's a judgment call for me. And that's what I pride myself on, is my judgment. My gut feeling. Hairs on the back of my neck, etc. That's what I pride myself on. And that is how you become a successful bail bondsman, is using good judgment. You could use bad judgment and write every bond that comes down the pipe. And you can make a lot of money that way. You really can. But if you do it right the first time and say, no, I'm just not comfortable getting you out, I'm sorry, you'll sleep better at night. I promise you. All right, folks, in closing, if you're all just in it for bounty hunting, I've got no respect for you, first off. Sorry, I don't. You want to come in and act like a professional bail enforcement agent? We'll talk. Being a bounty hunter with that kind of attitude is going to get you hurt. It's going to get somebody killed. There's no two ways around it. Somebody is going to get hurt. I want y'all to think about something for a minute. Y'all bounty hunters or wannabe bounty hunters. If a criminal will kill a cop at point blank range, what do you think he'd do to you? If a criminal will walk up to a squad car in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, stick a pistol to the officer's head, and kill him, they have no fear of the cops. They have no fear of prison. Their life is over the second they squeeze that trigger. Do you not think that they wouldn't kill you? Do you not think they wouldn't kill me? Like I said, this is $31 at an Army Navy surplus store. $31. But there's certain neighborhoods I walk into. If I'm going to look for somebody, this may become a target, a bullseye. This is not something that you get into just because you've watched a couple of episodes on TV, or just because you have watched a couple of movies, think you're Chuck Norris, you think you're Steven Seagal, you think you're Billy Badass. You do that, and you're going to get hurt, possibly killed. Somebody's going to be sending flowers to your mama. And you can take my word for that. Now, by contrast, there are people that are in this industry and it's all they do is they track down people who jump bond. These are normally well-trained individuals. They are armed, not with pepper spray or paintballs or BB guns or, they usually carrying some firepower with them. And these are people that are actually well-oiled machines. They're very good at their job and they're very successful. This video is not geared toward those people. This is not geared against bail enforcement agents. This is geared against wannabes. Or people that think they're going to be on TV. Think they're going to make the new episode of Cops. They think they're going to make the new episode of whatever. Be it overnight YouTube sensation. Hang on, let me put my camera on so I can go and kick this door in. And well, I didn't know there was a guy behind the door with a 12 gauge. He killed me and two of my teammates because we didn't do our homework. Those are people I can't stand. They're about as useless as fire safety cigarettes, in my opinion. But those are the ones that are going to wind up either on the news because they shot the wrong person, or they're going to wind up in the obituary because they either got somebody killed or they themselves got killed. Those are the ones that make the papers, people. And those are the ones that I want nothing to do with. Not a thing. Be safe out there, people. This is a dangerous world we live in. If you are a current bail professional, thank you. If you represent our industry with the manner of professionalism that I demand from everybody else, thank you. If you think this video was too harsh on certain aspects of this industry, I'm sorry. But I'm actually not. And if you're thinking about getting into it for the right reasons, because you want to help somebody out, you want to take that 21-year-old kid that's throwing his life away. He's on meth, he's on coke, he's on crack, he's on whatever the latest drug of choice is, he's on whatever. And you want to change somebody's life? You get into this business. You want to help somebody? You get into this business. You want to do this for a living? Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how much money I have made since I have been in this business. God's honest truth. For all the bail bonds that I wrote in 2015, from March, and I got licensed at the, actually, no, I got licensed at the end of March. I wrote my first bond the end of April because I had to wait to be on the register for the local jail down here for Harrison County Jail, and they only do it at the beginning of the month. So being that my license didn't actually come in until April, I wasn't on their books until May 1st. So let's just say from May 1st to December 31st, 2015, I would say that I probably made about $25,000, maybe. Maybe 30, I don't know. I hadn't really done my taxes yet, hadn't looked at my paperwork. But I got into this because I wanted to help people. I wanted to step up and do some good for the community. That's why I got into it. Yeah, I do it for the money too. I'm not going to lie. You don't do your job for free. I'm not going to do mine for free. But I still do it. I want to change somebody's life. I want to take somebody and show them that, look, man, you're throwing your life away. You're 21 years old. Why are you stealing from your mama? Why are you on dope? Why are you doing this? Man, think about it. Yeah, this may be the first time you got arrested. This may be the 50th time you ever got arrested. It's time to grow up. That's why I do it. And I hope you do the same. Be safe out there, people. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.